As of the day of recording this video, I have been playing chess for a full month now, and it has been an absolute blast. I've actually enjoyed myself way more than I originally thought I would whenever I first played my very first game of chess. But there's been three big takeaways, and I'm going to share those with you. And this is for me, from my time playing chess in just a month, my three big takeaways. Number one, it is not technically hard to get into chess, right? I'm sure a lot of you that may be watching this video, maybe some of you have already went through it, but for me, I just thought chess would be you had to be just a super genius to be able to play, and that's just not true. Because I am by no means a super genius, and I was able to, I'm able to learn the how the pieces move, learn some tactics. I've learned some openers, a little bit of theory. I'm now routinely landing checkmates. I still remember my first checkmate, and I even said in the video that I was trying to enjoy it because I'm sure at some point that would start happening more and more often, and it would just kind of become the norm. Well, now I mean we're kind of in that norm. It's normal to land a checkmate. While I'm super proud of myself, I'm more proud of the moves I made leading up to the checkmate than I am the actual checkmate itself. But anyways, back to learning chess isn't exactly that hard if you're willing to put in a little bit of time of studying. You can get decent at chess. I'm not going to say you're going to be the next Magnus Carlsen, but you can get decent enough to where if one of your friends starts acting like they know how to play chess, well, you can just absolutely destroy them, right? So, what I did was pretty simple. Learn how the pieces move. Then I watched Gotham Chess, for instance, his slow run series. If you haven't checked that out and you've been thinking about getting into chess or you're new to chess, I highly recommend it. I know there's several others that do great. Chess with Akeem, I've watched him. Hiraku, but it's like Soraku, Haku. Anyways, you know who I'm talking about. I think he's like world number two. He's insanely good from the U.S. All those guys do like a slow run series where, they cover their moves, uh, explain the opening, the tactics behind it, their thought process. Highly recommend watching those videos. I watched them, and they have helped me greatly. And then another thing on top of that is just watching some the matches, right? I was watching some of the Rapid Blitz in Poland. I watched the is it the Tepe TEPE the Magnus Carlsen just won it. I watched some matches from it, and you learn a lot just watching those. All those guys are they're GMs, right? They're like 27 around 2700 plus rating. So just watching matches, watching those videos, and something I love to do even more than that is after your matches go into the game review and just see the things you did good, and more importantly the things you did bad. Try to learn from your mistakes, and in just a month's time, really, like I see such a huge difference in my chess play. Number two, and this is going to sound kind of weird, because I just got done saying that the game's not hard, you know, to actually, pick up and play. But the game is actually way more complicated than I ever could have imagined. And what I mean is, definitely it's easy to pick it up, do a little bit of studying, and learn how to play chess. But when you start looking at it, when you start thinking about trying to get good at it, man, I even get downloaded chess reps, chessreps.com, try to learn, help me learn some openers, some of the theory behind it. And if I remember correctly, it's the Sicilian Dragon. And there was an opener on there by Anish Giri. I hope I'm saying that name correctly. I apologize if I'm not. But I'm pretty sure it was a Anish Giri, something like that. He's one of the better chess players in the world. And he actually did a course on the Sicilian Dragon. The course covers well over 600 lines. And that's just from one opener for black, right? And that's just one version of the Sicilian. You have the normal Sicilian defense. You have the Sicilian dragon. You have the accelerated dragon, the hyper accelerated dragon, uh, the what is it, the Netdorf or something like that, which is even like one of the more popular Sicilian openers for black. I'm not even tried to learn it yet. Like I said, we've just been playing a month. Maybe we'll get there. But that's just black openings for the Sicilian, and just one of those openings, Gary was teaching over 600 lines. That's not including the accelerated dragon, hyper accelerated dragon. Then you got to look at like the Slav defense, the Karakan, and whew, once I started seeing that, I was like, holy moly, and it brings a whole new level of respect to those, to people playing at the top of the game. You look at there was this boy from India. I think he was like the second youngest grandmaster here very recently. Just played his last game before he's got his GM title. Like how much they had to learn. And looking back at it, I wish I would have got into chess when I was much younger. You look, if you're in high school, grade school, whatever, and you're looking at the chess club and you're like, oh, those, bunch of nerds, get in there. Get in there, dude. It's actually way more fun than it looks. And when you get older, you're going to be able to play chess. You might not be able to play football. I'm just saying. But yeah, way more complicated, man. Way more complicated at that top level. But if you're just looking to get into it recreationally, play with friends and stuff like that, you can definitely do it. It's easy. It's a lot easier than you think. But at that top level, man, way more complicated than I originally thought. And my third big takeaway from chess is how addicting it is. I ain't gonna lie to you. Whenever I first made my first chess video, I was in a variety of gaming, FPS games, Marvel Rivals, Overwatch, you name a game, I've probably played it at some point. And, I was just looking for some cool video ideas. I kind of wanted to learn a little bit of chess anyways, and I thought, hey, hand in hand, first time playing chess, YouTube video, boom. It sounds wonderful. And little did I know that I would be knee deep in it. Like, I watch videos every single day. I'm looking at these tournaments. If I don't get to watch them live, which I don't always get to, I got a full time job and everything. So, these matches that last for hours, I have to go back, and watch it later, whatever. But constantly watching videos on, tactics or openers, and just watching, normal old games to see what I can take away from it. I even go back and watch, my old games. Yeah, I mean, I go back and watch my games. Whenever I first started playing, you go watch those and you're like, oh my God. And that's what's crazy is you get to see like how far you've come in just a month, and it's daylight and dark. Daylight and dark. But, I've had dreams about the Sicilian. Yeah, I've had dreams of the Wayward Queen. Just it haunts me in my sleep. Hopefully, we never get hit with that again. We've learned how to defend against the Wayward Queen. We shouldn't have to deal with that problem ever again. Hopefully, unless we just have a little slip up. But and it comes right down to I actually started playing chess with some friends at work. I have a couple buddies that also picked up chess. We got a chess board there, and if we have some free time, and we'll get a match in. Try to anyways. We don't always get to finish that match, but we start. And to be honest with you, I probably played. I don't have as much time to play online. I've played more games in person than I have online. So you could actually say that chess is a very social game. It's a very social game. You can play in person. There's a lot of chess clubs out there. In my area, not so much. I'm sure that if put in a little effort into it, you could probably start a chess club, local chess club. You play against a few people. Hooray! But yeah, man, I didn't expect myself to get so caught up into it and wanting to learn more and more about chess. Now, how far will I go? Right now, I'm still fulfilling my oath to hit 1,000 rating on chess.com. I think I can easily do it. to be honest with you, as much as I've been improving and playing with my friends and stuff like that, that if I actually took the time and actually dedicated to playing online, I think I could easily hit 1,000 rating. I don't know how far I could go past that. uh, who knows? I guess the big dream would be, try to achieve 2K rating. Um, uh, if I could even get close to that, I would consider that a huge success. Maybe one day, we're going to see where it takes us. Creating content for it has been a blast as well. The community out there is awesome. There's always trolls everywhere, but for the most part, a lot of people, they're just enjoying the moment with you. They've been there and been through it, so they have a good chuckle. They, try to provide guidance. The amount of people that's gave me some really good advice in the comments of my videos, just tell me, like, hey, you should have probably did this. There's always speculation though, right? Because you never know what your next opponent's move's gonna 100% sure be. So there's speculation there, but I get what they're saying, and and you can start to apply that in your future games, and just kind of see what happens. But the game is super addicting. However, those are my three big things I've taken away from chess in my first month, man. Once again, it's been a blast. Been an absolute blast. I love the game, love the community. It's been fun. It's been difficult. I think my brain's worked harder this past month than it probably has, my previous years of being alive. But and it's been real fun. It's been really, really fun. With that said, if you guys would like to see more videos, I'm working on some future chess videos. I'm reading Gotham Chess, his first book, How to Win at Chess. I'm going to be doing a review on that. And of course, there's going to be a lot of gameplay on here. I'm going to buckle down online. That way we can get that 1,000 rating like we said we would. So expect to see some games that I played, shorts, all that. If you want to see all that, like and subscribe if you wish to do so. With that said, I am Cheap. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe. We'll catch y'all on the next one.